My name is Robert Whaley, and I live in coastal eastern North Carolina, and we have a Kentucky Bluegrass lawn. All right. When I first bought this house, there was no grass. It was all just dollar weed and crabgrass and some Bermuda grass, actually a lot of Bermuda grass, but not the good kind. And I dug up everything and brought in a little bit of loam soil and threw down Kentucky Bluegrass seed. That was 4 years ago. And it took about 3 years to have an established lawn. One thing that I found out is that using chemicals is probably a last resort. So I experimented with many different types of weed pruners. And when I say chemicals, I mean herbicides. All right, so I have a harpoon style, big one and a small one. I have a saw blade garden trowel knife, and then I also have Grandpa's weeder. I use every single one of these, all for different weeds and different reasons. Today I'm going to show you how to get rid of, or discourage as I call it, orchard grass. Orchard grass often comes in seed mixtures. Usually Kentucky 31 tall fescue has orchard grass. I made that mistake my very first year by throwing that seed down, and I've been battling orchard grass ever since. I have gotten most of it gone by now, and the Kentucky Bluegrass does a great job at choking out orchard grass. I will include a picture diagram of orchard grass so you can identify it. So here we have our good Kentucky Bluegrass, and then you see there is a bunch of orchard grass here. All right, you could use the Grandpa's weeder if it's a small enough, and you put your two pinchers right on the middle, and then you step on, and then it pulls it right up. Okay, if you have a Kentucky Bluegrass lawn, I don't recommend putting any more seed down, especially if it's a small spot like that. Your good turf grass is just going to fill it in within a week. If you have a section that is a lot of orchard grass and not a whole lot of turf grass, what I do is I investigate to see if there's any Kentucky Bluegrass butted up next to it. And so here I see there is quite a bit, but the orchard grass is kind of crowding it. All right, so I discourage it by using a harpoon style. I find the center and I stab a couple times, and then you can rake it away. And if you do this often enough, even though I'm not removing it, it is making it really difficult for the orchard grass to survive. So eventually the Kentucky Bluegrass will take over. You can also use your garden trowel, weeder, saw, whatever you'd like to call it, and do kind of what I have done previously, repairing the lawn, and just kind of cut it out. All right, and then you can even see there's some Kentucky Bluegrass here. What I do is I just pull it, the good grass out, shake our soil back in there, and then just throw the Kentucky Bluegrass or fescue or whatever you have back in there. And this does not spread, orchard grass does not spread with rhizomes. It really only spreads with seed heads. So you don't really have to worry about, if I leave that there, it's not gonna sprout and start spreading unless you have a bunch of seed heads. I usually leave weeds that I pull, as long as there's not a seed head, I leave them in the yard, of which then I mow over, and it just adds nitrogen back to the soil. So you can pull it apart, shake out the dirt, and then just leave it, and then the next time you mow, mulch it back or bag it.